Hi everybody, I'm Steve Hanson, a volunteer with the Austin Steam Train Association since 1999. You may recall, if you've seen our video on the New Braunfels car, Al Dykes, who's the Vice President for Mechanics at the Gulf Coast chapter of the National Railway Historical Society. The Society owns the car that's right behind me. It's a Southern Pacific diner, and it's going to really expand the capability of our ability to serve our riders. It's a work in progress. So we hope soon that we'll have this available for you to ride. In the meantime, we're going to give you a little sneak preview of what it looks like as they work on it. So let's get on board the Southern Pacific Diner.
Well, welcome aboard Sunset Limited Diner number 10212. This car was built in 1950 for the newly equipped Southern Pacific Sunset Limited train which ran between New Orleans and Los Angeles. And after Amtrak took over passenger train service, this car saw many years service on Amtrak up until 2000, at which point they completely rebuilt the interior. So this car has nothing on the inside that's original. But the benefit is it's an all-modern electric kitchen, it's all mechanical refrigeration, no need for ice bunkers and dry ice. It has huge amount of cold storage. It has 2 microwaves, 2 toaster ovens, steam tables, a griddle, has a dishwasher, has coffee makers. So with this big serving counter, the Austin Steam Train Association, a lot of options for future offerings of a different type of train service. One of the biggest problems we faced when we got the car was that it looked pretty good on the inside. It was a bit tired, a bit dirty, but it looked pretty good. That was until we opened the ceiling panels and discovered that all the insulation on the underside of the roof had come loose and fallen down. They'd used flexible ducts for the air conditioning and they had disintegrated, so the whole lot fell down. So we spent a lot of time applying new insulation to the roof, cutting pieces of mineral wool to fit, and then welding little studs on the frame of the car so that we could use oversized washers and wire cloth to hold the insulation in place so that it doesn't drop out when the car is moving down the track. And we've also had to replace the ducts, the return air ducts from the intakes at that end of the car to the air handler in the center of the car, which were residential grade flexible ducts and they're disintegrated. They've been replaced with rigid spiral wound steel ducts which should not disintegrate. And then we've had to put new light diffuser panels in the light fixtures in the kitchen and clean them up. The other big problem was that the exhaust fan that sucked the fumes off the griddle and blew them up through a roof track was attached with a very poor low-grade flexible duct which disintegrated. This resulted in all the greasy fumes from the cooking activities filling the ceiling space above me with greasy fumes. So when we got in there, it was a disgusting mess, to say the least, and we've had to hire a professional remediation company to come and clean it out. And it took him and his assistant a week's work to get the top of the car cleaned out and to get rid of the terrible odor of cooking residue. So here we are in the kitchen, or the galley of the dining car. This is interesting because being a modern diner, it's got a huge amount of refrigerator storage space. This upper bank is all refrigerators, and the lower bank here is all freezers. And they could put enough food for a round trip from New York to New Orleans or to Florida and back on one trip. Over here we have 2 toaster ovens. Here we have a griddle where they cook the steaks and eggs and pancakes and anything else. We have a microwave here. We have 2 steam tables, some more steam tables underneath, and we have a dishwasher. We have all these plate racks up here on both sides, and then a work counter. This would have been the washing up station. And then we get out of the kitchen itself into the serving area. And in the serving area, there's another microwave. There's more plate racks up here. And then as we go further back past this long counter, there's another bank of refrigerators here. And then a refrigerated display case. And then we have 2 coffee makers here. And finally, a little wash station for the crew. And we still have the original cash register. Now this dining car was interesting because when Amtrak rebuilt it, they took pity on the kitchen crew. So this car has 2 air conditioning units. So there's an air handler that serves just the kitchen end above me here, whereas the main air conditioner that's by the end door serves the dining room. Originally the dining car would have had 1 air conditioner and the crew were just left to sweat in the kitchen. Now these tables are fixed booths, what you call banquettes, and they're completely unoriginal because the original dining car would have had tables with the loose chairs, but I guess maybe for safety reasons they've gone to these banquettes. So we have seating for 40 people here. Originally, as built, the car would have been a 48-seat diner, but it gives opportunity. We've got some good-sized tables, and with the big kitchen and all the cold storage, we can load in through the side door from a caterer, and then we can put all the cold food in the coolers, and we can reheat food in the microwaves or the toaster ovens and plate it up on the serving counter here, and hopefully have some crisp white linens on the tables with china plates. Currently we're using the dining area of the car as a workspace. So here we have some of the diffuser panels that go in the light fixtures in the ceiling of the kitchen. The old plastic diffuser material was very grubby and dirty, so it's been replaced. I had these window frames powder coated because the paint was peeling off. Here we have some of the light fixtures that belong in the ceiling, and over here you can see these are the old ceiling registers from the air conditioner. You can see how rusty and corroded they were, so we bought all new diffuser registers for the air conditioning, and they will be replaced in due course. And then if you look at the windows, you can see the windows are almost opaque. And you can also see how the seals are failing on the double pane unit. And right here, this end of the car got graffitied quite badly when it was in storage in Indianapolis in the Amtrak storage yard. So we've taken one of the windows out so we can see what's involved in replacing them. And we were able to source a manufacturer, and he's going to supply us with all new windows for the car. But instead of being the Lexan plastic that is used here, which is great for impact resistance, but it does degrade over years, these will be all glass windows. There'll be the green tint that matches the original green tint that the car would have been supplied with, and they won't have the central mullion in here, so they'll look better and make the exterior look better. So that'll make a big difference. I mean, the car looks pretty shabby at the moment. It needs a good deep clean from the ceiling all the way down to the floor, but once it's cleaned up, it'll look pretty good. So we're getting close to the end and be excited to see her back in service.
So Al, thank you so much for taking us on the video tour of the Southern Pacific Diner. These reporting marks are going to be replaced with something different. Tell us about that, please.
Yes, Steve. Originally, this would have had the Sunset Limited train logo, so it would have a red and orange fireball setting sun with the words Sunset Limited and the car number. And then above the windows, this whole band would be red with the white lettering saying Southern Pacific. So we intend to restore that back to the original appearance in due time.
This car is going to have a lot of potential for the benefit for our passengers on the Austin steam train runs. So we hope you've enjoyed this preview of what's going to happen here with the Southern Pacific Diner. Join us for future videos, and remember, our website is austinsteamtrain.org. Come see us on the line.